Hi everybody and welcome back to Harp 101. Today is our 8th lesson and we're going to be talking about how to roll chords. Being able to roll chords smoothly and evenly when playing the harp is very important because we encounter these very often in harp literature. So let's go ahead and get started. There are many different types of rolled chords and a lot depends on the context of the piece when deciding what type of rolled chord to use. For instance, some pieces will call for a long, drawn-out, dramatically rolled chord, like this. Whereas other pieces might call for a short, briskly rolled chord, like this. Or anything in between. A lot of times it's not actually written into the music what type of rolled chord to use, so a lot will depend on you as the musician to make those decisions. 3 things to take into consideration when making these decisions is what time period the piece was written in, what the original composer intended when they were writing the piece, and what sounds best to you in the piece. What do you like when you're playing it? Taking these 3 things into consideration will help you make the best choice when choosing how to articulate the chords in your piece. Another thing to take into consideration when playing chords on the harp is that it can get easy to get roll happy. In other words, rolled chords sound so beautiful on the harp that it's really easy to want to roll every single chord that we come across. However, this can actually get a little bit monotonous and can make your audience lose interest in the music you're playing. So, when you're deciding what chords to roll and what chords not to, remember that you want to vary your playing style so that your audience will remain engaged in the music you're playing. Let me play a little excerpt for you from an arrangement of Ferris' Lord Jesus. In this piece, I've chosen to play the chords on the half notes as rolled, but the chords on the quarter notes as straight in order to vary my playing style throughout. Okay, now that we've talked about how to use rolled chords, let's talk about how to actually play them. When playing rolled chord, it's simply playing a chord with each note a tiny bit after the others, so it's actually a lot like a really fast arpeggio. That being said, if you missed lesson 4 on arpeggios, you may want to actually go back and watch that now because some of the same practice principles will apply when playing rolled chords. The most important thing to remember as you're starting to play your chords rolled is that you want to start slowly, because if you can play them evenly at a slow pace, you'll be able to play them evenly at a fast pace. However, if you can't play them evenly slowly, there's no way you're going to be able to play them evenly quickly. Speeding something up almost never ever solves anything and almost always makes it worse if you've got a problem. So you want to make sure that you can play it accurately and evenly at a slow pace first. Now let's go ahead and take a look at one of the best methods I've learned for practicing rolled chords on the harp. So go ahead and place your hand with your 4th finger on middle C, your 3rd finger on the E above that, your 2nd finger on the G, and your thumb on the high C. Now you're in a position to play a C major chord. In order to practice this as a rolled chord, first play just the C with your 4th finger. Then add in the E with your 3rd finger. Once you can play that consistently and comfortably, add in the G with your 2nd finger. And finally, you can add in the C with your thumb. At this point, what you've got is pretty much a C major arpeggio, but now that you've got all of them evenly, you can gradually speed it up until you've got a nice, brisk rolled chord. The same principle applies when practicing chords with your left hand, but you usually will be playing with your left hand a little lower on the strings. So place your hand on the strings with your 4th finger on the low C, your 3rd finger on the E above that, your 2nd finger on the G above that, and then your thumb on middle C, and practice in the same way. Now that you're comfortable playing rolled chords with both hands individually, let's work on putting them together because we'll often encounter large chords that actually require us to use both hands rolling them at the same time. So go ahead and place your left hand with your fourth finger on the low C, your third finger on the E, your second finger on the G, and your thumb on middle C. Then place your fourth finger of your right hand on the E above that, your third finger on the G, your second finger on the high C, and your thumb on the E above that. And then you can proceed practicing in the same way we practice each hand individually, starting with the bottom note and working your way up. So there you have it. Now you're on your way to being a pro at playing rolled chords with either your hands separately or together. So have fun as you go to your music and figure out which chords to play rolled and which chords to play separately and how best to articulate them to engage your audience in your music. Hi everybody, thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can comment below about anything you'd like to learn about the harp and maybe your topic will be the subject of my next video. Until then, happy harp adventures!